Bob Dylan never set out to be the voice of a generation, but his poetic lyrics and raspy voice changed folk music forever. In the early 1960s, Dylan's honest storytelling and biting social commentary inspired an entire movement. When he famously went electric at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, he shocked purists and created a new fusion of folk and rock. His influence is everywhere, from Bruce Springsteen to Kendrick Lamar. According to the Grammy Museum, Dylan's impact on songwriting is unmatched, and he has sold over 35 million albums worldwide. His refusal to stick to one style has made him a legend, proving that sometimes the best revolutions are accidental. Jimi Hendrix was a quiet, shy kid from Seattle who didn't set out to change rock music, he just wanted to play guitar. But the way he played changed everything. Hendrix's explosive guitar solos and wild stage presence in the late 1960s redefined what was possible with the instrument. His use of distortion, wah-wah pedals, and feedback influenced generations of guitarists, even outside of rock music. Rolling Stone ranks him as the greatest guitarist of all time, and his album, Are You Experienced?, is still considered a masterpiece. Without trying to, Hendrix made the electric guitar a symbol of freedom and rebellion. Billie Eilish's rise to fame was as unexpected as her sound. With her brother Phineas, Eilish created music in their bedroom that would go on to win multiple Grammys, including Album of the Year for When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? In 2020. She didn't follow traditional pop formulas, instead opting for whispery vocals, dark beats, and honest lyrics about anxiety and depression. According to Billboard, Eilish has sparked a wave of young artists who feel empowered to be themselves and break the mold. Her influence on Gen Z pop is undeniable, even though she claims she never set out to start a movement. Kurt Cobain was a reluctant icon, but his impact on alternative rock and grunge can't be overstated. As the frontman of Nirvana, Cobain's raw voice and confessional lyrics connected with millions who felt out of place. The band's 1991 album, Nevermind, famously knocked Michael Jackson off the top of the charts, and tracks like Smells Like Teen Spirit have become generational anthems. According to NPR, Cobain's accidental revolution made grunge mainstream, shaping the sound and attitude of the 1990s. He never tried to be a spokesperson for anyone, but his authenticity inspired countless musicians to follow their own paths. Aretha Franklin didn't just sing soul music, she defined it. With her gospel roots and powerful, emotive delivery, Franklin brought a new depth to pop and R&B. Her 1967 hit Respect became an anthem for civil rights and women's empowerment, though she originally saw it as just another song. The Recording Academy has called her one of the most influential voices of all time, and she was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Franklin's effortless artistry made her the Queen of Soul, and she opened doors for generations of black female artists without ever trying to be a trailblazer. The Beatles started as four lads from Liverpool just wanting to play rock and roll. But their experimentation with studio techniques, genres, and songwriting changed popular music forever. By 1967's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, they had transformed from mop-topped pop stars to avant-garde innovators. According to the Guinness World Records, the Beatles are the best-selling music act of all time, with over 600 million units sold. Their influence touches every genre, from hip-hop to electronic music. Although they never tried to lead a revolution, they created one by constantly pushing boundaries. Prince was a musical chameleon who blended funk, rock, R&B, and pop with ease. He wrote, produced, and performed his own music, rarely following anyone's rules but his own. His 1984 album Purple Rain is considered one of the greatest of all time, and he famously battled record labels for artistic freedom. According to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Prince inspired a new era of artists to take control of their sound and image. His gender-bending style and innovative use of synthesizers made him a cultural icon, even though he often claimed he was just doing what came naturally. David Bowie never stuck to one persona or sound for long. From Ziggy Stardust's glittery alien rock to the soul-infused Young Americans and the experimental Berlin Trilogy, Bowie's constant reinvention changed what it meant to be a pop star. His openness about gender and sexuality made him a hero to outsiders everywhere. According to the BBC, Bowie's influence on fashion, music, and culture remains unmatched. His genre hopping wasn't calculated. It was a reflection of his endlessly curious mind, and the music world followed wherever he led. Madonna wasn't supposed to become the queen of pop. Born in Michigan, she moved to New York City with $35 in her pocket, hoping to make it as a dancer. Instead, her provocative style and catchy dance pop tunes in the 1980s changed the face of pop music. With more than 300 million records sold, according to the Recording Industry Association of America, Madonna holds the record for the best-selling female recording artist of all time. She pushed boundaries around sexuality, religion, and gender, and her influence can be seen in artists like Lady Gaga and Beyoncé. Madonna's rule-breaking was never forced, it came naturally, and the world couldn't look away. Kanye West's impact on hip-hop and pop is impossible to ignore, even if he's one of music's most polarizing figures. Starting with 2004's The College Dropout, Kanye mixed soul samples, experimental beats, and deeply personal lyrics. His 2008 album, 808s and Heartbreak, introduced auto-tune and emotional vulnerability to mainstream rap, influencing artists like Drake and Travis Scott. According to Forbes, Kanye has also changed the business side of music, with his Yeezy brand making him a billionaire. West often says he just follows his creative instincts, but his risks have rewired the sound of modern music. Taylor Swift began her career as a teenage country singer-songwriter, but her evolution into a pop superstar happened almost by accident. After winning Album of the Year at the 2010 Grammys for Fearless, Swift experimented with synth pop on 1989, which sold over 10 million copies worldwide. Her ability to write catchy hooks and confessional lyrics has inspired a new generation of singer-songwriters. According to Billboard, Swift is the first artist to debut atop both the Billboard 200 and Hot 100 in the same week. While she's known for her meticulous planning, her genre shifts have always seemed effortless and have changed the expectations for women in music. Johnny Cash's deep voice and black clothes made him stand out in country music, but he never really fit the mold. Cash sang about the downtrodden, the outlaws, and the broken, earning him fans far outside the country world. His 1968 live album, At Folsom Prison, gave a voice to the voiceless and inspired a new wave of socially conscious songwriting. According to the Country Music Hall of Fame, Cash's influence stretches from rock to hip-hop, and artists like Bruce Springsteen and Jay-Z have cited him as an inspiration. He didn't set out to be a rebel, but he became one anyway. Miles Davis didn't just change jazz, he changed it multiple times. From the cool jazz of Kind of Blue to the electric fusion of Bitches Brew, Davis was always a step ahead of everyone else. The New York Times called him the most restless and innovative figure in jazz. His bands launched the careers of John Coltrane, Herbie Hancock, and Chick Corea, and his approach to improvisation has shaped modern music far beyond jazz. Davis hated being called a legend, but his search for new sounds created ripples that are still felt today. Lauryn Hill's only solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, won 5 Grammys and became a blueprint for fusing hip-hop, soul, and reggae. Hill's effortless vocals and sharp lyrics about love, identity, and motherhood inspired a new generation of artists, from Alicia Keys to Janelle Monáe. According to NPR, the album has sold over 20 million copies worldwide and is still cited as one of the best of all time. Hill rarely sought the spotlight and even disappeared from the public eye, but her influence keeps growing. Her work broke barriers for women in hip-hop, even though she never set out to lead a movement. Elvis Presley didn't invent rock and roll, but his mix of country, blues, and gospel made it explode. With his good looks and electrifying stage presence, Elvis broke down racial barriers in music during the 1950s and 60s. His first single, Heartbreak Hotel, shot to number 1 in 1956, and he went on to sell more than 600 million records, according to Guinness World Records. The king of rock and roll inspired everyone from the Beatles to Eminem. Presley's natural charisma and genre-blending style made him a revolutionary without ever trying to be one. Björk's voice is as strange and beautiful as the landscapes of her native Iceland. She emerged from the alternative scene with the Sugar Cubes, but her solo work is where she truly changed music. Albums like Homogenic and Vespertine blend electronic, classical, and pop sounds in ways no one had heard before. The Guardian has called her the most influential female artist of her generation. Björk's fashion and music videos are just as innovative as her songs, and her willingness to take risks has made her a hero to artists who want to break the rules. James Brown, known as the Godfather of Soul, brought a raw energy to music that changed everything. His tight rhythms, shout singing, and commanding stage presence laid the foundation for funk and hip-hop. Songs like Papa's Got a Brand New Bag and I Got You, I Feel Good became the blueprint for countless artists. According to Rolling Stone, Brown's grooves have been sampled more than almost anyone else in history, especially in hip-hop. Brown wasn't trying to start a movement, he just wanted to make people dance, but he ended up influencing nearly every genre that came after. Stevie Wonder was a child prodigy who grew up to shape the sound of soul, R&B, and pop. Blind since infancy, Wonder signed to Motown at age 11 and released classic albums like Songs in the Key of Life. His use of synthesizers and socially conscious lyrics in the 1970s set new standards for pop music. According to the Recording Academy, Wonder has won 25 Grammys, and his songs have been covered by artists from Paul McCartney to Ariana Grande. Wonder's joyful experimentation changed the rules for what pop music could be, all while making it look easy. Taylor Hawkins wasn't just the drummer for Foo Fighters, he became known for injecting a wild energy into alternative rock. His style combined the power of classic rock with punk's urgency, and his presence behind the kit made every live show explosive. According to Kerrang!, Hawkins' drumming inspired a new generation of rock musicians to embrace both technical skill and raw emotion. After his sudden passing in 2022, tributes poured in from across the music world, highlighting how he'd revolutionized modern rock drumming without ever making a big deal about it. Adele's voice is both powerful and deeply emotional, connecting with listeners around the world. Her debut album, 19, introduced her soulful sound, but it was 21 that broke records, selling over 31 million copies globally, according to the official charts company. Unlike many pop stars, Adele avoided trends, instead focusing on timeless songwriting and raw honesty. Her success has made it easier for other artists to embrace vulnerability in their music. Adele's massive popularity came as a surprise even to her, but she changed pop music simply by being herself. Daft Punk, the French electronic duo, never showed their faces in public, but their music is everywhere. With albums like Discovery and Random Access Memories, they brought house music into the mainstream, blending funk, disco, and electronic sounds. According to Billboard, their hit Get Lucky topped charts in over 30 countries and won 2 Grammys. Daft Punk's influence can be heard in artists like The Weeknd and Pharrell Williams. Their robotic personas and genre-defying music changed the face of dance and pop, even though they claimed to just be having fun. Kendrick Lamar's storytelling and lyrical prowess have redefined hip-hop in the past decade. His 2015 album, To Pimp a Butterfly, fused jazz, funk, and rap, earning him a Pulitzer Prize for Music in 2018, the first for a non-classical, non-jazz artist. According to Complex, Kendrick's honest explorations of race, violence, and identity have inspired political and social change. His effortless blending of genres has opened the door for experimentation in hip-hop, even though he insists he just wants to tell his story. Janis Joplin's bluesy wail and wild stage presence made her one of the most memorable voices of the 1960s. She brought a raw vulnerability to rock music that was rare for the time, and her performances at Woodstock and Monterey Pop Festival became legendary. According to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Joplin paved the way for women in rock who wanted to be more than just singers, they could be leaders. Joplin never tried to be a pioneer, but her authenticity made her an icon. Brian Eno started out as the synthesizer wizard for Roxy Music, but his solo work went on to shape the sound of ambient and electronic music. Albums like Music for Airports introduced the concept of ambient music as a genre for relaxation and reflection. Eno's production work with U2, Talking Heads, and David Bowie helped those artists break new ground, too. According to Pitchfork, Eno's influence is everywhere, from pop to experimental music. He's always said he prefers to work in the background, but his ideas have quietly revolutionized music. Lana Del Rey brought cinematic storytelling and vintage glamour to pop music, creating her own melancholic universe. Her 2012 album, Born to Die, became an unexpected hit, selling over 7 million copies globally, according to IFPI. Del Rey's dreamy sound and nostalgic lyrics inspired a new wave of sadcore and alternative pop music. She's influenced artists like Billie Eilish and Lorde, even as she insists she's just writing about her life. Del Rey's effortless blending of old Hollywood and modern pop has made her a quiet revolutionary in today's music scene.